Well, I think that tutorial went well. I'm pretty glad how that came out. But unfortunately, I have to get back to trying to improve these shaders for the web. And it's going kind of well, sort of, but going to need a little bit more work to combine them. So let me see, let me move this back to an example. So that's 7. Where's the one with the... I had one that was just a letter. That's this one. Don't know why this is in white. Hopefully that doesn't matter. Okay, so I can see that outline. I'm going to need to combine the inner one. It's being passed in right now, just the zeroth entry of this. So I switch this to 1. Let's see if that prints the inside of the A. And it does. So that's good. So what I think I basically need here... I'm gonna want to call this the function to change the triangle, the draw mode. I have to call that earlier on. And to call that pretty much once per list of points. So this list of points here, then this is basically going to set just the indices, which I don't think is what I want. Does this modify? This modifies the geometry in a few ways, actually. I equals 0, I less than... Okay, so this is adding a new array. What is index? So it gets index here. Oh, this is to generate it. But then it overwrites it here. So it overwrites it with something new, then it creates new indices, then it overwrites it with that. So it looks like the only change it makes is doing this clear groups. I wonder if it's possible to make it so that I don't have to do any change at all. Like I want to return these indices, not set them. Index equals this, blah blah blah. Geometry.set and index indices. New indices dot length. I wonder why it needs get index. Let me see what the type of this even is. Oh man. And nothing happened. So that's chill. Okay, try that again. Something did happen this time. So let's see, it's 1200 points. Looks like it's just an array, or uint16 array. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna take this, subtract 2. This just puts new indices.get at index.getx. I guess it must be This must be some fancy way of indexing a buffer attribute. That must be what it is. It's kind of annoying that it leverages that by editing the geometry that gets passed. So that's why it does the set index and immediately this get index. Maybe what I can do is... Shouldn't this be like indices.get? This might be the same thing as doing 3 times I plus whatever? Maybe? I plus 1. Actually, maybe it's not. Let me see what getx does. I think I looked this up. Returns the x component of the vector at the given index. I'm just gonna look up the definition of that. It doesn't have it here. I didn't know they had a code mirror here. Index times this dot item size, so it is basically 3 times that. I think. Since I think the item size would just be 3. Or maybe I should just print that or something. Here's what I can do. You can just pause here and step into it. We run that, stop here. Step into this. And now I can look at this dot item size. And it's a 1. Okay, so just... I don't even know when the item size would be not a 1. Indices. Okay, so I'm gonna try just looking at indices rather than index. I'll try indices.push indices indexed. And it's going to be 3 times this. Yeah, let's see how bad that breaks everything. And here I'm going to need parentheses. Okay, see how that runs. What'd I do? And where it starts 3 from 3, failed to parse source. Object rendering, something about this must be off. This is just commented. Oh, I see. There, see if that runs any better. I'll just keep that open. I'll try running that. Even with that, it looks like something's up. 3 times I, 3 times I plus 1, 3 times I plus 2. Yeah, even though... Man. I blame my keyboard. With just this, I think it goes back to the way I expected it to look. Yeah. So I guess that's not all it is. Index.getX@I. The x component of the vector at the given index. So it's just doing this dot array index time item size, and the item size is 1. So why would this be any different? I guess here I'm gonna have to print out the difference between these two. So I'm going to print that, and then print that. Okay, and it might make sense to do that for the I+1 and I+2 as well, but for now, just check this. It's already something formatted wrong. Okay, try that again. Eight. Or undefined a lot of the time. Oh, because it's updating it. That must be why. And this one isn't being pushed. I'm only pushing to new indices, I think? New indices not push, it's pushing it. No, index isn't being updated anymore at this point. So why would these be different? They were even different at the start. That's a pain. Geometry.set index indices. What does set index do? A.setIndex. Indexed buffer render. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. This is used a lot though. It must be in a buffer geometry utils or something like that. Or buffer geometry JS. Okay, so if it's an array, new, yeah, just does a UN whatever buffer attribute. Okay. So let's look at this, and then I'm going to just print out indices and then index. See if I can figure that out. Looking at it manually. So it's just an array, and this looks like the same thing. Both have length 1231. Both even end the same way. If I mod 2 is equal to 0, else it does this one. Index.getX at I plus 2. That's pushing that. Okay, here. I'm going to print the debugger, I guess. I'm going to console log indices. See if that helps. So I have indices there. If I do index, let me try just get x at like, I don't know, 5. And indices that, I'll look at that like 3 times that. I do get something different. Oh, because it's not times 3. The item size is only 1. So maybe I can do this after all. I have to do index. I'll have to index it this way. Like so. Okay. Oh, not index, indices. Like this. Okay, try that again. I didn't mean to have a debugger there. Okay, so this worked perfectly. Now, hopefully I can do the same thing here. Or mostly the same thing. This time we're doing I plus 2, I plus 1, I. Basically switch this. item size. This must... Maybe this is there because it could be a UNT 16 or a UNT 32, and that's why it does this? Possibly, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so that still runs. I'm not going to try to not use index at all. I don't want to do this. So it only uses indices. Then, I want to just return... Actually, I'll just see if this works. First thing. And it doesn't count property count of null. I don't even know where it's printing. Count. Oh, here. Index. Geometry.get index. That must have been null. Number of triangles. Index.count -2. I wonder if... Maybe the buffer attribute is faster or something? Whatever, I don't care about that right now. I'll probably move this indexing into NumPy or something later on anyway. So use indices. Length. Okay. Okay, try that. Still works. That's great. Now... Darn. Okay. Back. I have to just return these indices. Then here... Index equals this, and I can say geometry dot set index. You have to find a better way to do parentheses or whatever. Okay, so that still works, which is great. Okay, so now I want to move this back a little. Wait, geometry. I think I want to move this so that it doesn't need a geometry at all. And I'll create the geometry like... Yeah, I want to generate the indices like up here. And then set it on the geometry when I create the geometry. Or when I set the rest of the attributes. So... Does this still need the geometry? It needs at least the positions. It needs the position attribute from the geometry. But I think that's all. I'm going to go ahead and remove these commented lines. All these empty lines. And spaces. Okay. So pass in position here, then I won't need it there, hopefully. Attributes dot array. I think I can just use that. Hopefully. Position here must then... Oh, this should be that length though. I think. Still tries to set the index here, so all of these places where it returns geometry, I'll just return null, I guess. Okay, try that again. That seems to be working, which is great. I can remove these lines. Unknown draw mode. Draw triangle strip. Okay, this is the only case that I want to care about, actually. So this can just be taken out. Triangle strip, yeah, that's the one I'm trying to do. Take that out too. Okay. So now I can get the indices from the position array. So what I want to do now, let's go through all the points here. Then once I finish that, like here, just after the end of that loop, that's when I can get the indices. So this is where I'll get the indices. I actually want to have a running list of indices. Wait, what does this return? Is this an array? Yeah, this is just an array. So let indices equal this, then I'm gonna extend it or whatever. If that's however you do that in JavaScript. Dot push with dot dot dot. Yeah, fine. So I can do indices dot push that. I don't actually need even the draw mode to be passed. Wait. This will just be... her, right? Okay, decent chance this doesn't work. Indices not push, whatever, then... When I come back here, and this is where I'm going to want to set the indices. Okay, see how that works. Okay, that seems to be correct. Great. Okay, so that's good. Now, how do I make this work for each line list that's passed? I wonder if I'll just want to... If I could pass in a range or something. Actually, all this needs is like the length of the array. This doesn't do that much with the position variable. I'm gonna put in the length of this. This is if it's not equal to undefined, otherwise it throws an error anyway. So we take that out and then num points. By doing this, then I can just pass the length of that. Cool. Man, this code style is terrible. Make that a little bit better. Okay. So now I want to try passing the entire list of points here. So here, I have a point list, and I'll be passing that here and here. Then I'll index this with J. Okay. It'll be something like this too. I won't do it to points dot length. I'm wishing I had the spaces. J less than 1. My highlighting is just not working right now. Okay, so this will only run once, and that one time it's going to extend the indices here. I'm gonna need let points equals point list at J. Try that. All right, so that's still working. Now if I'm gonna increment this and increment this, and that didn't work. There, increment that. Hopefully it shows you the inside of the A. And it does, which is great. All right, so question is, what should I pass into this on the subsequent attempts? I guess the length of the current array minus the previous length of the current array. I think. So let me previous per length, something like that. That'll be equals 0 by default. Hey Aquabeam, what's going on? And now here, I update the previous cur length. I'll do plus equals cur dot length. And this will be that minus the previous cur length. And then I got to like increment them all, but I'll deal with that later. Okay, I'll see if that runs. What are you working on? So right now, I just replaced the line shaders that were previously being used for everything. And I replaced them with line shaders from basically this website. I basically copied the shaders from 3D lines here. And I'm trying to adapt those so it can be used for shapes that have multiple lines. Like this A, for example, has multiple lines in it. So I have to make some updates to the code so that it shows both of them. I think I almost have it. I don't think this will be a difficult. This will be difficult from a theoretical standpoint. I think it's just some coding. Are they better? Yes. So the reason they're better in this case is that the ones that we were previously using, it's kind of technical to even explain why. But they essentially worked by projecting lines onto 2D tiles, and then it would show you those 2D tiles. But that really doesn't work well for 3D lines. It makes it very difficult. It might have not have been such a bad thing. Well, that was one thing. Another thing was that when I transformed them with a model matrix, it would make the lines thicker, which I also didn't like. Okay, I'm gonna try this cur. I'll pass this in as an offset. Oh my gosh, there we go. And then just add this offset to everything. Will that work? I think it will. So at first this will be 0, then it'll be increased by the length of the previous thing. Okay, so let me see if that runs for just a single line. Okay, it works for a single line. Let me see if it works for the other single line. works for that line. Then maybe I can do point, what's it, point list? Length of a point list. And hopefully that'll make it work for the two of them combined. Darn, it didn't. Almost. But there's that one line of crossover. Why would that happen? Indices got pushed dot 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 of this. It's almost as if they're part of the same strip. Curve out length minus previous curve length, and then previous curve length again. Why would that happen? It should be an offset of where the 0 is located, I think. Let's see what happens if I just say indices equals this. Let's see what that does. Why would it have that line there? It'll mostly come down to why that line's being drawn there. Okay. After that, two triangles draw mode is passing this offset. I wonder if I offset the offset? Though I don't think that should happen. That push. Okay, I guess I'm gonna want to see what it is that gets pushed. Oh. Okay, let's see what that is. Then I want to somehow show that it's part of a different line. And just do this. Not that. Man. Wait, did Pyodide have an error? No, my internet went out or something like that. That's fun. Might have come back. Okay. Man, the first one has so many indices. Jeez. But this one goes up to 3669. And this one starts at 3672, so that seems right. It seems correct. And I guess that happens with all of them. So in 3669, same thing. And then 3672. 970. 3669. I wonder why it's an odd number. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's not. No, it's kind of weird. Maybe that's not a big deal. I might just have to take the cop out and end up creating two geometries and then combining them. Although I really don't want to do that. Two triangles drama, the curve length minus the previous curve length. Why did the first one end on an odd number? I wonder if the second one ends on an odd number too? It does. Well, I guess if this is 0 indexed, that's actually after an even number of points. Okay, I'll try just adding one to this. I don't think that's right. We'll see what it does. Yeah, that doesn't work. I may have to end up just combining the geometries. Which will be kind of slow. Don't want to do that if I can help it. Well, that time it just didn't appear at all. Oh, this needs a dot dot dot. I think that was why. Nope, maybe I just broke it. I guess that's more or less what I expected. Here's what I'm going to want to do now. If I push the first batch, then for the second batch, maybe I can exclude the first triangle or the first two triangles or something like that. Let's see if I can scale this some more. It looks like there's two triangles. Yeah, that's how I'd create this line segment, is with two triangles, probably. So maybe what I'd want to do is say, if, like, I is 0. Man, I don't like this keyboard. Okay. I is 0, then push the entire thing. And if I isn't 0, then exclude those first two triangles. So I do this dot, I think that's slice 6. If that's what slice actually does. Slice into 2, that's going to start from index 2. Okay, so I guess I'm going to see what that does. I is not defined. Because it's J. Man, I keep messing up. I feel like this is ignoring my inputs sometimes. Okay, try that again. Still, how is that even possible? Current outline by its previous length, and I update it here. At some point, this has to not show the that triangle. If I could only tell what indices those were. It looks like it's not making any change at all. Which is a little worrying. I did sort of think that maybe it was pushing too many points. Let's see. Okay, render that. Oh, this looks right. 3672, then 1368. Seems pretty correct. Okay, I want to print this, and then the length of the new indices. Let's see if that tells me anything useful. Three, 6, 7, 2, and then this. And that's a 4098. Is this like this times... Not times 3. It should be around times 3, I think. For every 4 points, it'll do 6 of them. So times 3 halves, wouldn't it? But that's not right either. Hmm. I equals 0, I less than a number of triangles. If I mod 2 equals 0, It's pushing I plus 2, and I plus 1. I plus 1 and then I plus 2. It's doing that for each triangle. So it's essentially saying there's a triangle for which it's doing I plus 1, and I plus 2. Then for the next triangle, it's doing I plus 2, I plus 1, and then I. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But why would this not be... Oh, it should be 6 halves, so 3 times this. So I take this times 3. Which I guess that just didn't feel like copying. 3, 6, 7, 2. Okay, that's mostly right. Off by 6. And that should be ending around 3, 6, 7, 2, is what that's saying. So here. I'm going to want to see this again. And for now, I'm not going to push this. I'm just going to look at it. I feel like the parentheses, the trigger for parentheses is just too slow. Two triangles mode, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, so this is the second one, 4898 long. This is 3672 indices. And this is starting with 3672. But this means from 0 to 3671. Wait, did this happen even if I didn't push it? Here I'm not pushing, I'm not updating indices, or I'm only doing it here. So how is it even showing the inner loop? That's pretty weird. J less than pointless dot length. This is 2. So it should run for 0 and 1. So the second time it should go here. And it shouldn't update the indices. So why does this have multiple? It's only good for the length of the points. Cur dot length minus previous cur dot length. Wait, what's the length of the indices? Come on. Here's the grave quote. And I have to do Is it dollar, open parentheses, close. Okay. You should only increase in length once, is my intuition. This, and this is the length 11,010, which is right. This. Okay, it's not extending. So after the first one, it already has all the indices it needs? This doesn't make that much sense. Do I have to set a... No, this doesn't make that much sense. Because for the second one, it's adding to the UV, the prev, the curve, and next. It's adding to the vertices, but it's not adding to the indices. But then it's rendering as if it did add to the indices. Why? They have to do set draw range or something? Um, 11,010. Then it doesn't appear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create two geometries and then combine them. What a pain. But I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Because right now, this is not making that much sense to me. All because of that little line. Okay, comment that. All of these logs. The indices, I only want this one, I think. I don't think I'll need either one of them. I'll just do this. So indices equals this empty array. I do this for only one. Hopefully I can show like just the outside. No, that'd be way too easy. Oh, I did less than 0. Okay, so outside works fine. Inside also works fine, great. So now I get to move this loop to contain the creation of the geometry like down here. Like this. And attributes equals whatever. It comes down here, then I do geometry.set indices. Oh, then I do all of this. Alright, then I'm gonna need a list of geometries. Here. Where's the geometry created? Oh, it's created here. And it's reading that from this map, which is supposed to only have a single geometry. Okay, I got to not use this map for now. Just do this. So let's just create a new one, fill it in here, and then we'll have that geometry. Okay, let's see if that works for just the inside. And it does, so it'll probably work for just the outside. Have to move this inside the loop. Or at least the first place geometry is used. So here. So then I don't think I need it there. Okay, so now I have this list. When I create the geometry, I'm going to do geometries.push. Push that one. And for this, for the mesh, I'm just going to say to use geometry at 0. Let's see if this does the same thing. Okay, and it does. I make this a 0, this a 1. Pretty confident that'll do the same thing. I'll just do point list length. So now this will work for all of the lists of points. I'll push both of those. Oh wait, but I got to all of these will have to be set in here. Even the indices. So for j equals 0, j equals then the pointless.length. It's going to create a geometry and set all these variables. And then push it at the very end. Okay, and the only one I should see is the 0th one. UV is not defined. Too bad it doesn't tell me where. Okay, UV.length -2. So this is the length Oh, that's annoying. This is the length of the line. This won't be able to be a uniform pretty much if there are two separate lines. Or will it? No, it won't be able to be a uniform. Oh wait, maybe that was the problem before, that I didn't update UV. No, that's not true. I did update it. I did update UV, but there wasn't separate. I didn't have two separate line lengths. I wonder if that caused the problem, actually. Guess it's possible. But that'll be pretty annoying to fix. Maybe it should just be two separate renders at that point. If there are two separate lines. So I'd greatly prefer if it wasn't like that. Yeah, I think that line length will just have to be another attribute to the pass to the shader. So I wouldn't want to put that there. So now I have this. I'll essentially need an entry for each vertex. It'll have to have the length. The final length passed to UV, pretty much. You can just like repeat something in JavaScript. Fill array. I guess you can fill. Fill this. Okay. So I can say, line length dot push array. Then I need the number of entries. It's gonna be UV indexed at UV minus 2. 2. So how many points are pushed? Let me like cur.line. Okay, so now there's a line length attribute. Okay. Okay, this is only length 1. Okay, so now that should get set too. Okay, now I only want to do this for one iteration. So I'm pretty sure this will break something in the shader, but I'll set an attribute for the line length. It won't set a uniform. Then I got to edit the shader. This actually uses line length too. Varying. Position next. So I have the line length from this attribute. And I guess this needs a 2, so I'm going to need a varying. So I can just say v underscore line length. That's the same thing as line length. This, it's going to have to take that from a varying. Okay. Get the feeling this is going to break literally everything, but maybe I should have more hope. Current out length, that fill. Okay. Can't believe that worked. But I guess it did. I'll try it for the inside. That works too. Great. So now, if I have that, I have to push these geometries. So there should be 2 of them. Now maybe I can switch between the 2 just by switching from a 1 and a 2 here. It looks like that works. So now I have to find a way to merge the geometries. Merge in another buffer geometry. Offset, that's kind of weird. Okay, so let me see if I can say... Okay, merge geometry equals geometries at 0. Merge this at 1. And if I'm lucky, I can do this to see both of the curves. Damn it, dude. Oh, wait. Overriding original geometry starting at offset equals 0. Merge buffer geometries? Overriding the original geometry starting at offset equals 0. Weird, but I guess I recommended another one. Merge buffer geometries. Okay, look at this. This takes an array. Okay, maybe that works. Perfect. So I guess I knew that would work, but it's not a very satisfying solution. Since I pretty much have to create a new geometry each time. Create 2 new geometries, I guess. I guess I could make it a group or something like that. Well, that would be kind of silly. I could have the single mesh that has a number of children. I guess I would still have to have that line length separate from the material. But I could do that, then that might actually be a little bit faster. Kind of don't want to care about that until I run into performance issues. Which this will probably run into performance issues. Faster than is necessary. Wait, let me... move this up. Yeah, it does. Well, it does have this open, so that'll make it go slower. Now it's looking like the strokes just aren't appearing. Does this need a thicker stroke width or something? Put that at 8. Now I'll give this a stroke width of 8. And it looks like it's doing the same thing. That is really annoying. Let me see what happens if I try to write this. Well, that's really weird. Looks like it's not getting all of the points or something like that. What if I just add this? Then it has them all. Why would that happen? When I do this right... Nah, who knows? I wonder if it has something to do with the performance that it had. Or possibly something to do with this caching, which is no longer happening. Set object ID mesh. So that mesh is being set into the cache, but it's not being read from it. Since the geometry would have to be recreated anyway, only really the material could be cached. Let me see what this does. I just see a circle, something really simple. That works fine. Let's see. Oh, it's animation list. Something's definitely up with the right animation. You see it's even receiving the right points. Okay, so that's right. is always 96, which I think is also right. Okay, so let me see if this is getting updated. This from 300. It's barely updating. Wait, scroll down some more. 300. And this looks like it's actually going around. 3 -7. This looks like it's going all the way around. But all those points aren't appearing for some reason. Let's see. Let's create this merged one. If it has it... Oh, I want to always return this. Maybe that's the problem. Not an instance of 3.object 3D. Oh yeah, because that's via mesh. I want to do that, just see this. Not an instance of 3.object. Oh. I thought it was returning this mesh and it wasn't considering that to be an object 3D. Okay, that time it worked. So it must have been something with that caching. Making that caching work properly is going to be pretty annoying though. Go back to the text. It looked a lot more correct. It looks like it's going really fast at the start though. Maybe that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much, if anything. Okay, the writing is working now. It's just really slow. It looks marginally better with the DevTools closed, but still, I'll definitely have to implement caching for that. Let me see how it works with the graph. Where is that? Well, first we'll see how it works with this, which is also a graph or a plane. And it appears on top of this for some reason, which is already sort of strange. Looks like that works fine. Why would it show up on top of it, though? Not really sure why that happens. But okay. I guess if I look here, there's the grid, then there's the IVEC, then there's the JVEC. So the order would be the grid, then these two. I guess I don't really know why it didn't appear on top before. That should cause some sort of Z contention, I would think. But that's that. Where's the one with a circle? This one, I think. That seems fine. Yeah, that looks like that's fine too. It is like the ordering is off for some reason. And I don't get that. It looks like the lines always want to be on top. And I don't get that. Actually, that makes sense. Because the ones other than the lines are being cached, but the lines themselves aren't. So they're being destroyed and recreated on each frame. So that's why they always appear on the top. Okay, whatever. So I'm gonna have to make this work with caching. And I think what I might end up doing is just having a single object 3D with multiple children. That might be the better solution here. It would definitely separate them a lot more nicely. Okay, so let me just put an object 3D here. That'll be fine. Wait. Yeah, they can share the material even. So I still have this geometries list. Set indices, I'll still do that. Still push the line lengths. Still do the materials. Create the material. Then here, I'll just say like let children equals geometries dot map. From geometry to A new 3-dot mesh. Okay, so now that should be a list of meshes. I want to merge them. Then I should be able to do... let, line group or something? Man, I need to learn how to type again. This can be a new 3-dot... I think that's an object 3D. Oh my goodness. Keyboard, please. This list of children. Then maybe I can just turn this, that line group. See what this does. And I broke something. I misspelled object. Hope that's even the right thing. No arguments. This is to be children. Doesn't it have .add? Weird. Okay. Oh my goodness. Children equals there. Try that again. Okay, I think that's doing what I expect. Close that, it goes a lot more reasonable. Okay, and this I think is actually possible to cache. Much more possible to cache. Here's what I can do. Remove that. If object.mesh has object ID. Okay, then I can return it from this cache, otherwise I can wait. Let mesh equals new 3-dot mesh. It won't be a mesh. Otherwise it'd be this, I think. Okay, in this case I would return that mesh, which is actually an object 3D. Otherwise, I'll create this children array from those meshes. Create a line group, add those children, and return that. Then I'll have to set it. Set an object ID. Line group. I should really learn how to type line group. Oh, not return. Okay, so then when I'm reading this, if object mesh has object ID, then geometries. So I get at whatever. I have to do a map. This dot children, which is an array of meshes. So I have to do this dot map. Mesh dot geometry. And else geometry is equals this. My geometries, okay, if it has that ID, then I'm going to take the geometries that are already there. I always do this. Okay. Now I can create those array lists, or those buffer attributes or whatever. And then set them on each geometry. Okay, this seems a lot more correct. So I wanted to create it on each frame. Okay, let me just see if that works. The lines are still appearing on top, which is weird. Let's see. So 86 here. I'm doing geometries dot push geometry, which I don't necessarily want to do. So this is only if. This is like the else of this. If the mesh is already contained in the cache, then I do this. If it's not contained in the cache, that's when I have to build up this array. Okay. So let's try this again. The lines are still on top, darn. And why would that happen? Not sure. Material. I guess it's creating a new material each time. Did I get at object ID.material? This doesn't make... I guess that's fine, even though it's creating material each time. Oh. It's not even reaching that code. Okay, try this. And now it's doing it. It probably crashed. Yeah. Uniforms with undefined. Okay, this is what I was thinking would be a problem. Material.uniforms. Where's that material? Yeah, this doesn't really make sense. I guess these can share the same material though. So maybe I just had to do module to mesh dot get at object ID like dot children at 0. I think that's fine. And they're gonna have the same viewport, same anti-alias, same thickness, same color. So I think that's all I have to do. Then each of the children is sharing the same material. Okay. Alright, now they are not appearing at all, so that's good. Okay, well I have no idea why that would happen. Children at 0, that's a mesh, dot material. Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work. That was a lot of... Where did I add in the caching? Here, okay. Okay, so here it was working without caching. Now this works the first time. Children line group. Okay, so this works the first time. The second time, doesn't really make sense. So else, I'll have this geometries array. I'll build that array up. Then if it has an object ID, I'll just take the 0th child. That should work fine. Update that material. And I think that's all. Let's see if that runs. Okay, guess that runs. Which means I can... Wait, where is it getting the material? The material's coming from after the first time. Oh wait, there is never... It's never getting set. So what I want to do is try putting this here. Children line group. Okay, so now it should get cached. But it's going to create a new mesh from the cache stuff. Hey Daryl Golden, what's going on? I'm just painstakingly debugging lines shaders. Darn! It's like so close. But so far. Geometries.map. Oh, wait. think this works the first time. On the first time, I think it's correctly creating this object 3D and returning that. The second time, what could be going wrong? Essentially, it's reading its own geometries. Oh, it's creating new geometries here. That's not supposed to happen. It's creating its own geometries here and then doing what with them? Is it just nothing? Children at 0.material, that's right. Okay, but anyway. Where's the geometry? Here. It shouldn't create its own geometry here. It should just take, like, geometries at whatever. I think let's do use array.fill. If I knew where the backspace key was. Okay, I can't even find that. Oh, it's array whatever.fill. This I think ought to be array of length pointless.length. Fill new 3 buffer geometry. Okay, so now it has an array either way. And so it doesn't have to do this. And say let geometry equals geometries at j, I think. Geometries at j. And it fills in that geometry. And it should never have to push. It should never have to build up that array. And so now it has that array of geometries. Then it's either going to create a new material, or if the mesh is already contained in the cache, it's just going to take the 0th child. Okay, this looks a lot more like it should be working now. Object.get object ID. Okay. Okay, so now that's actually in the right order and stuff, so that looks good. Now let me add a console log. And just make sure this is getting cache hits. My highlighting is not having a good time. Okay, and these are all cache hits, so that's good. So it won't be using too much memory. Okay, and that looks basically the same speed. And that looks right. Cool. I don't remember the reason that the right wasn't working. Oh, it's something to do with caching, so I guess I should test that again. Let me try that first with the circle. Okay, that looks fine. And it's getting the cache hits. And this one with more writing. See how that does. Because this had some problem with caching as well. Well, that just crashed. Can I read property attributes of undefined? It seems like a weird place for that to crash. Geometry, not attributes. So there's some geometry that doesn't have attributes. No, there's geometry that's undefined. Okay. That's what it must have been. It's not always happening. It's happening like at different times. Well, not necessarily at different times. But it was, I think, definitely going too slow at least. Okay. I'll have to do some more debugging for this. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna raid someone. And then see if I can figure out what's going on with this more in my own time. The line shaders and stroke shaders. There's different names for the same thing. The ones that I'm trying to use right now are essentially just from this website. And the ones that were being used for the strokes before are the ones that Grant wrote. Well, they're adapted from the ones that Grant wrote. The right animation might honestly just be too slow for it though. I guess I'll just see more to see where that slowdown was coming from. Okay, I guess I can raid this person. He hasn't been going too long. Oh, whoops. /. Okay, cool. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, freaking.
Hey, Oiler Tour, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Almond Den Raiders. Let's get
Oh, I guess I should cut it for you too.
Hello there.